Hello everybody, my name is Fernando, I'm Brazilian. I'm Brazilian beach, very beautiful Brazilian beach here in Bahia, and I'm walking and talking with God. Before nothing, excuse me for my very poor English, but I'm talking with God about life here. God, life, the Bible. These surroundings here are very beautiful, and they are breathtaking, at least for me, because when I'm here walking in this beach, this deserted beach, there's nobody here. It's 6 o'clock and there's absolutely nobody in this immense beach. Just me, you, and God. And I was talking with God about life. When I'm here walking, my perspective, my life's perspective, change dramatically. When I'm on my day-to-day business, my fight for life in a very big city. I live at Belo Horizonte. It's a city with 4 million inhabitants, and it's incredible how my perspective about life changes when I'm here talking with God. It's incredible. The angle of your life changes. Your view of things, you put things in the correct place. You see that this life has very little to offer to you. Very little, very poor things. People are in a fight for life, for money, for a better life. Always seeing the green grass of your neighbor. Think, well, when I reach his place in life, I'm gonna be happy. And the very truth is that this boat in which we all are in, this boat is very poor. There's not much difference between the richest man in the earth and the poorest man. All are under the same sentence, a very, very poor situation. You think, well, money has quite a lot of things to offer. Money on the end has to offer you expensive cars. It has to offer you sex. It has to offer you alcohol, drugs, fun, movies, and things like that. And you think that, well, that's all I want. I want the best apartment in the world, with the best view, with the best drug, with the best movie, with the best of the best. We think we have to step up a ladder that is going to achieve these things for us. Money, fame, whatever you think. But when I'm here in this deserted beach talking with God, it's incredible how things change the perspective in my life. I think, well, this life is very poor. You got everything you want. If you have 3 meals a day, if you have a job, if you have a decent job, if you have 3 meals a day, if you have a ceiling over your head, more than that, your life won't change. Almost nothing. To tell you nothing. To tell you the truth, nothing. Your life is going to continue the same. The true perspective on life is that you are in bondage in your inner being. Your inner being is that you're in bondage. And the unique objective in this life is to I don't know the right words, excuse me if I don't say the right words here, but you gotta be linked with your Creator. You gotta be linked. But you don't have to be linked with your Creator. It's not something difficult that you gotta have quite a lot of steps to win, very difficult steps, very harsh steps that you never achieve. This is a dead end alley. If you're gonna to look for God in this avenue, it's a dead end alley. I think this is the word. And to tell you the truth, God's very near to us. You don't have, with all your limitations, because everybody of us, we are in the same boat. We have limitations. We are very poor. You have nothing to offer to God. Nothing. You are not good as you think you are. You are very bad. And you have nothing good to offer to God. You won't achieve no higher step in order to synchronize with God. You see a very high ladder and you think, well, I have quite a lot of steps. I'm in step number 1, this ladder to achieve God. They say that it has 10,000 steps, and I'm in the step number 1. And I have a very harsh way to climb this ladder in order to synchronize. God's a very difficult God to synchronize with, and I gotta climb these stairs. You're in a dead end alley. God is not that way. Absolutely is not. Religions tell you that you have to climb this harsh ladder. It's a very dead end. But on the other hand, if you decide, well, I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna have fun and take what the life has best for me. It's another dead end alley. You gotta synchronize with God. You gotta synchronize with God. But it's your the biggest issue in life, because this life is this life, you're not, nobody is going to be eternal here. I am 52 and I'm returning to this beach after 30 years without coming here, specifically in this beach. I spent my childhood every end of the year in this native beach. It's almost the same. After 30 years I'm returning here, and I look behind my perspective when I was 20, my perspective is that I had all my life ahead of me. I had all the world to conquer. The sky was the limit. But the truth is that you accomplish very little in this life. The same, in the perspective of God, we accomplish tiny sands. Look at the sands. We accomplish this. Well, I accomplished this. It's not very little. No, but my neighbor accomplished that. No, but that other neighbor accomplished that. Well, it's a very amount of sand. But in the eyes of God, it's nothing compared to the sands. Look, it's nothing. God's perspective is very different from ours. We accomplish very little. And the unique step you gotta take is to surrender your life to God. Surrender. Don't worry. Just surrender your life to God. That's all you have to do. Surrender. Surrender. Because God is the Almighty. God is created the atoms in each grain of sand here, and the whole universe. If you stop to think about the whole universe, it's something incredible. It's beyond our widest dreams. I can't imagine. Nobody can imagine. You take a guy who all his life have been studying the skies, and he's in a quest. It's beyond comprehension. Then God is someone. He's a person. It's not an energy. He's a person. And the greatest characteristic of God is love. God is love. It's his greatest characteristic. But if you look at mankind, you don't see love in mankind. It's almost an inexistent characteristic. Some people you see a forged love. But this real love that wants to give to the other, to give your life, to give everything to the other, not thinking about gaining anything, this love is almost inexistent. Well, but God is love. He gave this. He gave the nature. He gave everything to us. He gave life. It's a gift to have life. You see the planets there, they don't have life. This planet Earth is maybe the unique planet on the whole universe that have this wonderful life. And it's a gift. God gave life. It wasn't for me to be here. It wasn't for me to exist. If you see the universe, it doesn't hold life as the planet Earth holds. It wasn't for you to be here listening to me. Life is something that it wasn't to happen, but it happened. And God is love. God has pleasure to look at His creation. God has pleasure to take a very tiny being like me and you and give everything you gotta have. Life is full of problems, but life is not perfect. If you see this wonderful beach, you see problems. You see, sometimes you see a plastic bottle. It's a problem. But you see the climate is changing. The temperature is changing. It's a problem. It's a very big problem to the planet Earth. And life is crowned with problems. Life is full of problems. Life is not perfect as we think that, well, I'm gonna be happy when I do not have any problems with people. First of all, with people. Our greatest problems are with people. People are great concerns, are great obstacles, are great problems. We hate people for that. But we need people. We are social beings. We need people, but we hate them at the same times. Life has dangers. I'm in danger here. You are in danger in your apparent secured apartment or house. You are in a very great danger. Life has dangers. Life is crowned, but not these Hollywood dangers that we are used to see in the movies. The dangers of life are very, very different from these. The problem with life is that we get a Hollywood view of life, and it's a distorted view of life. The dangers of life are very different from the dangers of an aircraft crashing on a very high building. Thieves running into your house. These problems exist, but life has very different dangers. The greatest danger, these are the tiniest dangers. And we spend our life trying to protect us from these physical dangers. But the spiritual dangers are much greater, because you don't see them. They are not a Hollywood spectacle. They kill you without being seen. Be seen. I don't know. Excuse my English. I'm trying to communicate in English to achieve the largest possible number of people. For my native language is Portuguese. It was much easier for me to speak in Portuguese, but I'm decided. God, this video wasn't prepared. I decided. God inspired me to accomplish this video. It's not possible a live video because in this beach there is no internet. Then I'm gonna record this video and throw it like a bottle in the ocean on the YouTube. I think that it's going to reach you because God designed for it. God told me, do this video. I never did a video like this. It wasn't my plan to do a video like this, but God told me. I was walking here, going there, and God told me, not audibly, but God told me. I know that He told me to do that. And as I said, the key of life is to surrender your life to God. And the problem is that our perspective of God is very wrong. We are full of wrong perspectives of God. All the religions, they tell you about a very wrong God, a very distorted view of God. And who is going to tell you about the right God? Not me. I'm in the same boat as you, a very tiny creature, full of defects. I'm not going to tell you about the real God. Who is going to tell you the truth? The truth, the unique truth about God. Well, none other than the God. You gotta ask for Him. Surrender and ask for Him. You gotta have humility. You gotta step down from the place where you are, the truth where you hold. You think that you have the truth and the people are in the wrong place. And you have the real truth. Well, probably, almost certainly, you're wrong and you think you're right. You're right. If you think that, well, this is a materialistic life, God doesn't exist, and I'm gonna return to be a sand, to be a mineral, you're wrong. If you think that God exists, but I'm not in a position to achieve Him, you're wrong. If you think that you are very good, and God on the end is going to look at you and say, this guy is very good. He didn't kill anybody. He didn't rob. He's very good to his neighbors. And on the end, everything is going to be all right because you do the right things. You are wrong. Wrong. You think you're right, but you're wrong. It's not the doing of right things that makes us even with God. The real truth is that we are in a very, 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 very bad condition. And we are incompatible with God. As I said before, God is love, and we don't have this love. We don't have. When we have love, we have a very faked, a very poor love. Very faked love. We think that this is incredible, you are very good because you have this love. This is a monstrous love compared with the love of God, because the real truth is that we think only about ourselves, our being, ourselves, what I got accomplished, what I got, take advantage of others, what I got, be happy. When you think that the objective of life is to be happy, you're just trying to feed yourself, your God that is yourself. This is your real God. And God is entirely different. It's something entirely different. God is love. He wants the good of others. And when we discover that, how we are, our real nature, without lipsticks, without camouflage, our real nature is very selfish. This is our real nature. Your nature, you who are listening to me, you are very selfish. Everything you look is to satisfy your earthly comforts better than your neighbor. You compare every time you compare with your neighbor. Well, I'm in a very bad position with my neighbor. Then I'm in a very unhappy state in life. Or you think, well, I'm in a very good condition. Look at my neighbor. I'm very much better than he. And then I'm in a wonderful position in life. These are very false perspectives, because your neighbor is not your step. Your neighbor is not your real your real degree of comparison, your real mark of comparison. The real mark is God, the unique mark. And you got be very humble and surrender and ask this God, what is the truth? Tell me the real situation I am in. Tell me the real situation. Don't let me be deceived. Because the great truth is that the whole humanity is deceived. Our perspective is very wrong. And you gotta ask God, tell me, God, tell me, please tell me the whole truth. Teach me, God, teach me, God, how to know the truth. The truth, there's a truth. And the fact is that people are aiming at thousands of objectives, thinking they are truth, thousands of perspectives, thinking they are the truth, and they're aiming wrongly. Don't think that you have the truth. You gotta ask the unique who has the truth, God. God, you gotta ask humbly. The right word, the gold word is humble yourself. Humble. You gotta be humble. You gotta take very. I'm warning you. You gotta have to take off your clothes of pride, your prideful clothes. Be humble. You're not in a very good position if you have money, if you have everything life can offer. You're not very different from the guy I have just seen there drinking his alcohol and asking for money in very bad situation. You're not different from this guy. I'm not different from him. We are in the same boat. And you gotta be humble. Ask God to give you the right perspective in life. Otherwise you're gonna be deceived. And you're gonna have to have a surprise. The very truth is that this is a unique life. We have only this life. We are going to be dead sooner or later. And while you are alive, you gotta surrender, ask God for the real truth, for the right perspective. This is prayer. But in order to accomplish God, you don't have to climb 1,000 steps to be the spiritual man, the super spiritual man. You gotta be humble. You gotta take off your clothes and humble yourself, because there is no super spiritual human. We are all, as they say in the Bible, sinners. Sinners. We are all sinners. There is nobody that is, that guy is that guy there he's even with God. Nobody. The perspective of God, as I took some very little sand in the hand and different amounts of sand, but they are compared with the sand in this beach here that has 8 kilometers. It's insignificant. It's a comparison that I brought. But the truth is that you gotta be humble, and you gotta do what God tells us to do. God has just told me to do this video. I have never done a video like this before. I don't know if I'm gonna repeat a video like this. But God told me to do that. I was walking here and God told me, you gotta do what God wants you to do. Don't think that you are gonna be the spiritual superstar. There aren't. I have seen very great apparent spiritual superstars fall like a sand castle. A sand castle. If I build a castle in the sand here, it's going to endure some minutes, some seconds. I have seen great superstars fall like sand castles because they forgot the step number 1. Be humble. Humble yourselves before God. Humble, humble, humble. Be humble. And you gotta be humble and live your life. This is the way to reconnect, to connect for the first time with God. Really, really. Not forged connections with apparent gods. If you don't be humble and ask for the real God, the unique God of the universe, the truth, you are connected with a forged connection that apparently is with God, but it's not. You are connected with a very incredible, beautiful connection that is connected in reality to dark forces of the universe. They are very good in doing that, in deceiving humanity to connect with wrong path. These dark forces of the universe are very good. These dark forces are spiritual forces. They are not natural forces. They are not communism. They are not bad guys. They are behind those guys. These dark forces, the greatest objective is to connect with you in this life, because this is the greatest gift that you may think of, that you have, is the gift of being alive. Independent of your own situation, the greatest big gift is being alive. And these dark forces, the greatest objective of them is not to let you connect with God. And they're very good in that. They're very, very good. They're experts. And they are connecting the humanity in forgeries. The whole humanity. How can you not be deceived? It's very simple. Humble yourself and keep humble. Do not let your proudness, I don't know if this is the right word, the proud within you, to take advantage of you in any moment. The moment you let your, you may, sometimes you may be walking in the right way, but when you start to be proud, it's one moment for you to fall in a very dark pit. Then you gotta be humble all your life. And you gotta ask God. God is not difficult to. He's here. You gotta ask Him. Just Him. Not the forces of light that say in their books that they have the right answer. Ask the real God, the God that created the sky. Is not very beautiful today. It's very cloudy. But all this universe, all this nature, all things, ask this God. Only He has the truth. Well, guys, I'm gonna leave you, and I wish that each person that hears this video reach the real liberty, the real life. Goodbye for everybody.